Got a good economy going. Got 3 ore plants there. I'd actually sell 2 of those off for a bit of extra cash at this point. Because you've only got 3 ore miners, you don't need all 3 factories at once. That's cash you could be pumping into some tanks. But looks like he's going for a rush. He's got 4 tanks straight into play. Be interesting to see what he does with them. Let's see what Andy's doing in yellow. So I think middle, top. Not much, we'll move on. No, it's kicking off. I wish I could tell you who against who, but on this screen, it's all blue. Is it Austin and Gareth having a bit of a skirmish, perhaps? If you're watching at home, it's probably a lot clearer, the colours, but I am somewhat disadvantaged on this projector with a 640 by 480 resolution. Austin's going for some, but if we go back to the bottom right, you can see that Austin's building some battle bunkers there to stick tanks in. So I think it's clear that his game plan is to sort of sit tight, hold the fort, build an army. If we move over to who's in red in the bottom left, Ben H. Let's see what his tank army's doing. He's amassing some good grizzly tanks there. He's playing allies. Faster than Rhino tanks, but not quite as powerful. Everyone seems to have an air base who are playing allies, but no one's built any Harriers. So perhaps just building that to tech up or to get some paratroopers. Let's just go up to the top mid and have a look at Andrew. That's what's going on. Not much, we'll move on. Ben T, an expensive player. We look at an experienced player. We're looking at here in orange. I don't know whether he's kind of got himself in a bit of a knot in that corner. There's not much space to expand. Only got the 1 war factory. I don't know where his slave miners are. Perhaps he's moved them on to. He only appears to have 1. Oh no, there's 2. There's another one at the top, but not really enough to sustain a big tank economy. Here we go. We've got a battle coming. So this is actually Andy pushing across in yellow. He's got some prism tanks. They're very good against those brutes. They're going to cut right through unless he can get close. So Ben T has fended that off quite well. He's withdrawing his slave miner for protection. But he hasn't got those pillboxes garrisoned, so that prison tank's going to be able to march straight up to his base. That was great comedic timing. He has got a little Gatling gun there, which I hadn't noticed. It looked like a divot in the ground on this screen. Oh, I got a prism rush. So Andy now is pushing around the top with a sizable army of about 9 prison tanks. They're very weak prison tanks are at close range, but they've got these deadly lasers which can fire from afar. So unless Ben T can get onto them quick, he's in trouble. I don't know whether I would have chased the slave mine. It was going nowhere. I think he's kind of missed an opportunity there. Now he's pushing back. So we'll follow that across. Someone's built a flying disc, so someone's gone for air. Some of those prison tanks have been captured by the... Yuri's got mind control. But Andrew was able to react quickly to take it out, so he hasn't lost many. I think Ben T might be going out here. Well played, Andy. We go down to the bottom left to have a look at Ben H now. Quite a big tank army. Same amount of ore refineries. Someone's built a Tanya. There's a brute just jogging down the left-hand side. Is he just going to take on that? Oh, I don't think he's seen a pillbox. Let's go have a look at the top right. Gareth in the light blue. Mirage tanks coming over. Are those yellow? Is that Andy pushing again? He's having a good game. Mirage tanks turn to trees when they're not moving, so if you put them in the right place, you can hide your army. Very good against tanks and troops, Mirage tanks, as we'll see now. I suspect Gareth has probably got enough to fend them off, though. Andy'd kept his prison tanks back there, which was a good tactic, but unfortunately for him, Gareth did get close enough to take them out. Yeah, Gareth looks in trouble. He's got a lot of men, but really at this stage in the game, they're not going to be particularly useful to him. So I think the main players we're left with, Andy in the yellow, Ben H in the red, and Austin in dark blue, who's bottom right. Oh. Was bottom right. We've missed something there. I wonder if, did Ben push across? No. I think Mike had maybe pushed across. Ben's now laying into Mike, but I'm not sure that's going to go well for Ben. Mike's got his flying discs up, which are one of Yuri's special units, and they're cutting right through those tanks. Ben may have left himself vulnerable. He's sending over those flying discs. They're just going to cut straight through the men. Instant fry, instant gib with the lasers. Flying discs can also hover over buildings to capture money, seize, stop power, stop production, stuff like that. Quite a handy unit. Quite an open game, not too cagey. Everyone's out to win here. No one's sitting back. Let's have a look what's left of Ben, and I think he's gone. Yeah, he's still got the little Gatling cannon. That's why he's still in it. But yeah, I think there's no more action to be had there. How's Andy doing? He's got some prison tanks. He's looking a bit weak now. I think maybe he could have done with a stronger economy because, he's bringing his tanks back. He's just consolidating his position for the time being. Gareth's out. Let's have a look at Austin, the bottom right. He can't build anything new. Barracks has gone. War Factory's gone. So it looks like Austin, the dark blue, is also out. So it's Mike versus Andy versus Ben H in a three-way battle between red, yellow and purple. And here we go. Ben's pushing across, a lot of tanks. Mike's throwing everything he's got to defend. A lot of those are Gatling tanks though, not great against regular tanks. So we'll see what happens there. I think Mike's going to be okay here. In fact, yeah, he's got Ben on the run. I'd be pushing across to chase those tanks up. I'd be taking out those ore trucks as he's doing. I'd go after all the red ore trucks now, just really cripple Ben's economy. I think that's what Mike's got planned. So, of course, the battle between these, this is giving Andy a chance to restock, build some more prison tanks, get himself in a strong position. Oh, we do have some planes. We've got some Black Eagles or Harriers, if they didn't last long. No chance against Gatling tanks. I think this might be it for Ben. Throwing everything to try and survive. With the one remaining plane, looking very sad. He's not recovering from that. Let's just see what Andy's doing now. Well, he's missing the trick, really. He could have pushed straight down and the game would have been his. But instead, looks like he's sat back. It's going to give Mike a chance just to build a few extra tanks, build some extra floating discs, flying discs. Oh, he's been building Chrono Legionnaires, though, a waste of time. However, Mike might not actually notice one in his base as he's still attacking Ben. He's nicking some money from the ore refinery with his flying disc. He needs to take out the power, else that's going to happen. So this is Ben H going out, our wild card. He's played very well. Two-way battle. Mike in purple versus Andy in yellow. Surprisingly, Andy beat Mike earlier on. That was a turn up for the books. Mike is going to be wanting to get some revenge now. No one's captured the buildings on the cliffs. That's 3 power troopers. I think it's safe to say that didn't go well. And those prisms have come far too late. Oh dear. That was 7,000 down the drain. At least. Let's have a look at Andy's base. I'm favouring Mike at this stage now. I think Andy's missed the opportunity to capitalise when Mike was distracted with Ben. Are there any ore refineries still to capture? Maybe there's one in the bottom left. I think they've all been destroyed in the ferocious fighting. Those couple of purple tanks that you see moving up there, they're under mind control, so he's just using Andy's tanks against him. Andy's still persevering with lots of prison tanks. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do now. Mike's wise to that. They're too weak. He's got a few robot tanks kicking around as well. Robot tanks, that's quite a clever idea because they're immune to mind control. They're very good against Gattlers. That's a good tactic to build them. However, if his robot control's taken out, it means that the robot tanks are disabled and can't do anything, so that's the risk. Okay, we see a push coming down. We've got a battle fortress in the mix, I think. I think that's what it is. You've got to fill battle fortresses with troops. I don't know if Andy knows that. Okay, I think this is the battle which may win or lose it. I don't know why he's moving his Gattlers back. He should go straight to them Prism tanks. Engage them close up. The battle fortresses can run over other tanks. He sees control of them, I think. He's going to use them against Andy. That was nice work by Mike. I don't know if he's got anything in them, though. They don't seem to be doing much. I think they're just empty. You've got to put men in a battle fortress for it to be effective, and I think Andy's just thought they were a decent tank and just not realising he's got to stuff it full of troops. I think both players are struggling with their economies at this point in the game. This is the kind of stage now that the other players have been eradicated on either flank. Should be pushing up with secondary bases to, exploit those ore fields. Those are the robot tanks coming down. It's got quite a few of them. This could be interesting. Might be in trouble here if he can't deal with that threat quickly. Right, it's on. Oh no, backing off, cagey. The good thing about robot tanks as well is they can move unhindered over the ore field very quickly. They're not slowed down by the ore field. He's wasted a few of them there by not engaging straight away. I think Mike's still okay here. Andy was going for the buildings. I think the smart move was to just take out all of those Gatling tanks, some of which are elite status. He's playing it safe, is Mike. He's been very cagey now. Oh, this is pointless. No point in taking out a power plant with Harriers. Mike smells blood. All those planes instantly taken out. Andy's flown the planes round the Gattlers. That's a good move. But why is he moving them back? Straight out the sky, no problem. Robot tanks versus Gattlers. I think the robot tanks are going to win. Now it's Andy's turn to push. These robot tanks are dangerous. Immune to mind control, move them fast. Magnetron, too little, too late, I think. I think Andy's going to win. I think he's going to win. We're never going to hear the last of this if Andy wins. And Mike, oh. I can't see how he can come back. I think he's out. I mean, blinding play. Wow. Well played, Andy Best in the yellow. Now, he's probably wondering why he hasn't won. And that's because there's still Ben T's Gatling cannon in the top left. I mean, of all the surprises, I would never have guessed that Andy would come out of this victorious, but he's played an absolute blinder, and this is the second time he's beat Mike today, so full credit to him. So it looks like he's hunting for what's left. I think he suspects that some of the oil refineries, the oil derricks, are still active in the corners, but it's actually the top left he needs to be. And when he's under no pressure now, he could just build a satellite uplink, see the whole map, and just identify what he needs to take out from that. Instead, I think he's going to treat us to half an hour of mining ore. It's been a great final. How can he not have... Let's have a look at his base. Let's go back to his base. What's he got? Has he not got a satellite uplink? I can't tell from the screen. Hey, he's found it. Yeah. So what's left? I've got no chance of seeing what's left on this screen. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's Gareth's pillbox or sentry gun. It does, yeah. Congratulations to Gareth on his sentry gun, which has won him second place in the final. It's spotted now. And there we have it. Andrew Best, what a play. He's only gone and won the whole lot. Well played.